Yeah, it's been a little bit slower than I think both Steve and the team have wanted. Obviously, he's a really important figure in our team as a leader, and his quality as a player is still there. There's no doubt about that. And I think it's been a little bit slower than everyone wants, but at the same time, we haven't even put a timeline on it. Just really in the last probably like 10 days or so, we've just said, let's start to make the progress that we know will be not necessarily to a particular timeline, but based on exactly how the knee is reacting. So his knee has been the issue, and I think that's helpful for us right now. So I'm not trying to avoid the question, but we've actually taken the timeline off the table, and I think we're hopeful that it's going to be sooner rather than later. But really, we're looking at it day to day, week to week, and hoping that he makes the progress that he's really made over the last 2 weeks. Which the last 2 weeks he's made a lot more progress. And again, he's someone that everyone wants to get back as soon as possible, but we're also not going to rush it and put him in a position that it's just going to be a short-term gain for having him out again for another significant amount of time.
And what's the latest on Russell?
Yeah, Russ is still, again, we're trying to evaluate that one to really determine what the timeline will be, but he's still going to be out this weekend, and we don't have a lot more information really at this time on it.
Okay, good. And then last question, just going into this game in St. Louis, down 5 players that were part of your rotation. Obviously, you're not going to tell us specific replacements, but how you address such a situation with a shortage of manpower.
Yeah, we knew this one being on the calendar and seeing that we had 5 players that were going to be away for international duty. We knew this was coming. I think the only thing that we didn't really prepare for was a couple of the injuries that we just discussed, and also Pedro getting a red card. That also threw a little bit of a loop for us in terms of the overall squad depth that we'll have for this week. But that's something that we talked about transparently in the beginning of the week, and I think that it's an opportunity there for some different players. And we just have to be really prepared, because the place we're going is a really difficult place to go and get points with a full squad, let alone with the squad that we have in terms of the limited numbers this week.
Got it. Thanks, Troy.
Hey, Troy, and then one that was submitted by media, preparations for St. Louis, what do you see from them, and what do you think it's going to be like going to a very intimidating atmosphere over there?
Yeah, what they established last year is something that I have a lot of respect for. I have a lot of respect for their organization as a whole, specifically their style of play and their club's identity that I think Brad has done a really good job of putting in place there. I don't know Brad personally necessarily, but we've had plenty of interactions over the last couple of years, just both of us being at Red Bull at different times. And you can see the hard work that he's put in, that to come on field and the club have the success that they had last year, both in terms of the attendance, the support, but then also the results on the field. It's really impressive. And that's a benchmark for us, that as we start to turn the page towards the identity we want to create, we'd like to have that same level of impact, both in results, but also how it translates to our supporters coming out and really creating the atmosphere at Audi Field as well. And I think that in the beginning of the season, you've seen us do that in some ways. So I think it's going to be a tough place to go, but we're looking forward to that challenge. That's for sure.
We'll go back to Steve Goff now.
What were some of the lessons learned as you reflected on last weekend's match, and how you address those going forward?
Yeah, we came in Sunday to have a little bit of a regen session for the guys that obviously played on that Saturday, and then the other group came in to get a really good session in. And prior to that, though, we met as a group and we talked about the match. We showed some video and reflected on not only just the things we needed to work on, but the things that went well. And I think we can all agree that we started the match in a really good fashion, not just because we scored, but because we disrupt the game and the way that we want to be able to press a team like Inter Miami high up the field. And the thing that we have to improve on is being able to do that consistently over the course of 90 minutes. And I don't think it lies necessarily in our defensive structure so much as in our ability sometimes and our decisions with the ball. So We had far too many turnovers and bad areas, so the game got a little bit stretched. And then we also said, look, on the one hand, we need to be optimistic because we created some really good goal-scoring opportunities. But on the other hand, we have to finish those. We need to finish it whenever we have the chance to make it 2-0, 2-1. Just different times in the game that we want to continue to be in those moments, and we're going to, and we have to take advantage.
Next, we'll go to Tom Timmerman from the St. Louis Dispatch.
Hi, Coach. Sorry I came in late, but you just talk about the impacts that Jared Stroud and Lucas Bartlett have had on this team, how they have fit in to your plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice to have you with us. So I've told this to a couple of people before, but Jared Stroud and Lucas Bartlett, I actually have known both of them in different ways over the course of the last 6-7 years. Jared's someone that we tried to sign out of Colgate at the club I was with in Charlotte, at the Charlotte Independence. And, he's someone that I've really liked over the course of his entire career. He ended up going to Red Bull, and then when I went to New Mexico United, I tried desperately to sign him there. And the irony of Ali Mackay and Caleb, our GM and our assistant GM, of bringing him in prior to bringing me on as head coach is pretty special, and how everything comes full circle in this game. When I've worked with him, he's given us exactly what I would hope for, which is a really intelligent player against the ball. He understands exactly the type of identity that we want to put in place. And where I've challenged him on is just trying to continue to create attacking moments for us. Chance creation has to be a little bit higher. And this past weekend, obviously, you got to see him score a great goal for us, and I'm hoping that he gets in those areas and continues to maximize those areas as often as possible. And then Lucas Bartlett is, again, I've known him since he's probably 12, 13 years old. I coached his older brother at the Charlotte Independence in 2016, Alec Bartlett, and he's someone that I really like coming out of college. I followed him whenever he went to FC Dallas, and then obviously whenever he joined St. Louis. And again, him and Jared both came in at the same time, and I'm really thrilled to be working with both these guys. I think Lucas has given us a lot of stability at the back, and he's given us a lot of structure at the back himself. And again, the type of identity that we want to have. And both these guys, I think, are very, very important signings for us in 2024, and we'll continue to show that.
Thank you very much.
That's it from us, Troy. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys.